Hello, hello, hello. What's going on, my Jets family? How glad to have you guys tuning in with me on this very, very nice, sunny Thursday evening as we sit on the water and we talk all about them Jets. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully, you're enjoying the view. You got a nice view. You got some sailboats, some boats in the background. There's a duck over here before. Just sharing my view with you guys, sharing what I'm doing. Again, you remember, you can comment throughout any comments you want to make, just any topics you want to bring up, anything you're thinking while I'm talking about stuff, just let me know, just bring it up. But again, hope you're enjoying the view with me. And today's topic is a good one. Today, we're going to talk about somebody who really is getting media attention, but we forget what he has the potential to be. And that man is Mr. Carl Lawson. So we look at Carl Lawson, and again, we're psyched about what that edge rusher room can be in total, right? What that edge rusher room can be in general. Like, I'm psyched about it. Everyone's psyched about it. We're going to have an episode again next week. If you guys want to tune in, where we talk about Jermaine Johnson and Michael Clemens and Carl Lawson all together. But today's episode is about one man, and that man is Mr. Carl Lawson. Excuse me. So again, appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate you guys being here in the podcast. So we're going to talk about Carl Lawson. And the first thing we have to do is we have to remember how great we thought he could be when we first got him, right? Unfortunately, he got hurt last year. It sucked. He got hurt. Bite our tongues, right? He got hurt, in right before, give or take around, we're not going to talk about it. Didn't happen. It didn't happen. But he's coming back. He's good. He's healthy. We're going to talk about that as well. But we need to remember why we were so excited about him in the first place, right? What we were so excited about with Mr. Carl Lawson. So I have a fact sheet here that I copied down a little earlier that I'm going to be reading out with you guys a little bit. We're going to talk about again what made Carl Lawson so special. We have to go back to again, he was out last year, right? So before that, when we got him in the 2021 season, we were looking at his production in 2020 and 2019 in those 2 years. Well, in 2020, Carl Lawson had 26 QB knockdowns. That was actually first in the entire NFL, tied with TJ Watt. That was it. That was the number one guy he was tied with. 26, a huge amount. He had 44 QB pressures that year, so it was in the backfield 44 times, which is huge on its own. That was tied for fourth in the entire NFL. And again, you think, fourth is pretty damn high. That's tied with guys like Chris Jones. Joey Bosa and Aaron Donald only had one more that year. You look at his QB hits. He had 32 QB hits that year. That was second in the entire NFL. Again, only behind TJ Watt. He absolutely killed it in 2020. And in 2019, he was very good too. He had 14 QB knockdowns, which is tied for eighth. Again, not as high, but again, tied with guys like Trey Flowers, tied with guys like defensive end Josh Allen. We all know what Josh Allen is. He had 23 pressures in 2019, 22 QB hits. Good numbers, but again, in 2020, just eviscerated it, just absolutely killed it. So we look at again the total over those 2 years, because again, we signed him in 2020. So in the 2 seasons before, in 2021, sorry, in the 2 seasons before that, he had 67 pressures from 2019 to 2020. That's two a game. That means he was pressuring the quarterback in the backfield, disrupting the play at least twice a game in every game he was in. Over 2019 and 2020, he had 40 knockdowns. Now, again, not all those are always counted as sacks. His sack numbers were low. But if you guys remember, I'd done videos on it myself on why I thought his sack numbers could get better, right? That everything else was there. Again, we look in 2020, the most QB knockdowns as TJ Watt. We have the ferry coming in. Hope you guys, again, are enjoying the view. Again, please comment. Let me know, what you guys are, thinking, what you guys are up to. But we got the sailboats in the background over there. Got the ferry coming in. Again, just a beautiful view. And I hope you guys, again, are enjoying everything. But, back in 2020, he just killed it. His numbers in 2020 were absolutely ridiculous. Again, 26 QB knockdowns, 44 pressures, 32 QB hits. Absolutely ridiculous. We were so psyched to get him. Then he got hurt. But as we knew, he'd been hurt before. He had an ACL tear in 2014, back in college. Then in 2018. Think about it. In 2018, that was the year before he balled out. In 2019 and 2020, we talked about how great his numbers were. He was hurt, then he balled out, right? In 2014, he had a great 2015 season, which got him to being, which got him into the draft and everything. So quality play all around, but again, showing he can rebound. And some quotes, about what Carl Lawson's looked like is, again, he wasn't with us last year. We look at these amazing numbers, right? The stats he put up, what we were so excited about. Like when we signed Carl, we were like, we finally have an edge rusher, right? We finally have an edge rusher. We have a guy that I looked at the numbers. Yeah, the sacks weren't initially there, but again, in every other category, knockdowns, hits, everything, he was top of the league, top of the freaking NFL, man. It was amazing. Excuse me. So we were super excited he got hurt. And again, but we mentioned the other years he got hurt. Well, the years after that, he looked good. He looked really good. And some quotes, from guys like Robert Saleh. Saleh said he's looked fantastic. He's doing everything. He's ready to roll. I think he was ready to roll the second he tore it. The guy's an animal with rehab, so I'm not worried about his availability. Well, we know, Carl Lawson, that was one of the things that excited us about him when we signed him. Remember those images? I think Drew from Jersey, shout out to him. Some people were putting up, images of how freaking huge he was. Like in the gym, this guy was a monster. He was hitting it. He was a beast. He was absolutely killing it. He was ripped. And to that point exactly, we look at, what other people have to say. We look at JFM. It goes to that point exactly. Anybody at camp last year saw what Carl was doing. He said, obviously, anyone who was there last year, we were excited, man. We saw what he was doing, those matchups with Becton, which, it's good to have Becton back. We'll see, we had an episode, if you guys missed it, on Monday about what Becton could potentially be. But we saw what Carl Lawson was doing in 2020. JFM said we spoke. He's excited to get back. And of course he is. He studied a lot. When they interviewed Carl, that was one of the first things he said. He said, I've been hitting the books. I've been studying. I've been looking at other edge rushers. I've been seeing what they do. He's literally trying to get better when he's not on the field. He points, he still looks great, still looks like an action figure. And if you remember, CJ Uzuma, the new tight end, said the same thing, that Carl's like a freaking action figure. He said that he's exactly what you'd build in a player in Madden. So he's always been a gym guy. He's always been dedicated. And again, the question was, how would he come back from injury? Well, we saw in the past. It's indicative he comes back better. And as you guys remember, as the ferry comes in, as you guys remember, that was a big thing with me, right? I kept saying at the NFL level, if you want to come back at the NFL level, you have to be better than what you were. Right? You can't be, you have to be better. Your ligament has to be stronger to make it at that high a level. Well, he's done that each time. It was ACL those times. This time it was Achilles. It was an Achilles tear this time. But I'd always been saying that. You guys know that was my thing. Like with Victor Cruz, his knee had to come back stronger. Teddy Bridgewater, his knee had to come back stronger. Well, we look at coming out of Carl's mouth himself. He literally said, I've had a major injury before and I came back better. I plan on being better than what I was. That's it, right? I pointed out when he said it, I was like, bada bing, that's it. Like, that's the point. He's going to come back. He's going to come back strong. He just has to stay healthy. But he's shown in years past, after injury, he's come back stronger. He's come back better. He's dominated, right? He's freaking dominated. So we should be excited. Again, we look at those numbers of what he did in 2020. Why we were so excited to sign him in the first place. That was it, man, right? Like, we have to go back. Like, it's exciting. We're going to have an episode, talking about the defensive ends a little bit, talking about, the edge rush finally being there, finally having, because again, that's the thing with Carl. We're excited about him, but it is a question mark, right? He's been injured. It is a question mark. So he's come back healthier. He's come back better. Like we said, the numbers are ridiculous, but we have draft picks. We have prospects on that edge. We finally have an edge rusher. We're going to talk about that next week. And I'm very, very excited to talk to you guys about that next week. So again, I hope you're enjoying the view. Hope you're getting psyched about Carl Lawson, because remember how psyched we were, again, back when we first got him, right? Those numbers we talked about, how high they ranked. Again, sacks weren't there, but everything else, one of the best in the league. And he's going to come back, like he said, stronger, better, ready to wreak havoc. So I'm ready, man. I'm ready for Carl Lawson to wreak some freaking havoc. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying the view. I hope you're enjoying. We got the ferry coming in. Ferry's actually starting to dock just about in a little bit. But again, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate you guys being here for Jets at Sunset. Hope you're enjoying it. Jets at Sunset. So take care, you guys. Have a great rest of your day. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to do episodes Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I'll have the main podcast on Monday, where we talk it up back, where I'm at. And then we'll sit on the Wardy here Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. As long as, the weather's good, weather permitting, we'll sit up, we'll look at the beautiful view. We'll watch the sunset. And we'll talk about them Jets. And as you guys know, remember, any comments you have, bring them. Any questions you have, anything you want me to talk about, let me know. We can chat it up. We can sit here on the water and talk it up together. So again, appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday at 7 p.m. Take care. Have a great rest of your weekend. And let's go Jets.